Okay, hi everyone. Those of you who are just joining us, welcome. Uh, we are really glad that you were able to join us, and um, we are super excited about the whole process. So just to give you an idea of what we're doing, this is a final reading from English 2266, which is the Ohio State University class of Introduction to Poetry. Many of our writers are brand new to poetry, and some of the others of us are more experienced. But everyone has written amazing work and done amazing collaborative work, some of which you will see. So what you're going to get today is three different sections, which represent three different aspects of our experience that we've written about over the semester. So the first section, which I'll put up for you in a second, is called A New Way of Life. And basically we're imagining what it's like and what it feels like and what it's been like for us to live during COVID. The second section is called Growing Pains. And I don't think there's any way for us to disconnect the first section and the second section, because it's really about what we feel like as persons, what it's been like for us, what it is like for us just to live and to be in community with others and to live a life and to have a political, social, familial, human experience. And so there's lots of wonderful poems there. And the final section is inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, but many other sort of social and economic justice movements that many of us feel a part of or are supportive of. It's called Fighting for a Voice. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, and we'll move forward with the reading. So I hope you enjoy it. So A New Way of Life. So Aditi, you're up.
Poem is titled Ever Changing. I miss the library. I miss the quiet not quite of shuffling paper, low chatter, and the cozy warmth of a favorite reading spot. The smell of pastries, of coffee, the energy and the sleepiness, the drifting into your own mind, the feeling of home, familiarity, of peace. Home itself is different now, as I imagine it is for us all. I miss the library, every library, because there are spaces I have grown up in, places I escaped to, and I miss that independence. I miss the library and the old times and the good memories. And even though I call myself adaptive, I've realized I do dislike change. So I mourn and grieve over what should have been, what could have been. But in the end, the world will keep turning. I will keep missing the library until one day, maybe I won't have to.
Restrictions lifting, restaurants allowed outdoor dining, retail stores allowed to open, a new sense of normal. Traffic returning to the freeway, crowds returning, the familiar hustle heard, a new sense of normal. Lines outside of stores, limited capacity, tables and chairs lining the street, a new sense of normal. Cases starting to rise, a vicious cycle returns. Can we navigate this new sense of normal? Restrictions lifting, restaurants. The end of 2020. Where did the time go? Days, weeks, months. blurring together, wishing for the year to end, gazing to the future, looming ever closer, unsure of the horizon, sun setting in the distance, goal getting close. What's across the tape? A brighter dawn, a darker night, rushing to the end, unsure of the horizon. Main Street. Walking down the street, windows dark, chairs up. The once bright stores, now dusty, dark, empty. Faces on the street, covered by masks, hoping to stop the spread. Shops pleading for compliance. The few survivors struggling to stay afloat, while hollow spaces slowly proliferate. Masks everywhere, on faces, on the floor, a sign of the world we now live in.
There's a lot to learn in times like these. Learning how to be alone gets easier. Becoming immune to not seeing friends becomes second nature. However, learning to appreciate ones around you more. Your family, who when all else is gone, they are the ones left. May be the most valuable lesson one can learn.
Maria, I think you're up.
Ringing independence as I run off the plane. A new life emerging faster than I dreamed. Working so hard I barely feel sane. I figuratively and literally sing. I feel like I belong. I feel anew. Tears of joy couldn't justify the feeling to you. Run, dance, take it all in. You don't want, this won't pass you by. Time has passed. The world is anew. My youth feels of the past. Then so innocent, so naive, so full of life. The world is different. Now so sullen, so leery, so dispirited. No simple song in my sore throat.
I'm going to go ahead and read Evan's. So here is Evan's poem. Rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. I do the same things every single week, doing nothing unique. Just get through this one, don't freak. Got a case of the Mondays? You'll make it there one day. All those dreams are for something. It's up to you to make it out of nothing. Me and Pete, 2020 buddies like mac and cheese. For the trash can, he's a fiend. Always barks loud and makes a scene. Rinse, repeat.
A mask for the outside to match the one on the inside. There is no one left to see, stuck inside forever if need be. 2020, how deceptive can it get? This is a year that I'd rather wish to forget.
Life. Life with COVID is rough, but no one said life in general would be easy. We've had to be tough and not let it seem that we are uneasy. No matter how bad life does you, because 2020 has shown us it will do you foul. Don't you give in and don't forget to smile. Don't you give in, you fight. Don't throw in the towel. When it throws you a right, you duck and throw a left. You keep on pushing because you're still breathing, so you're blessed. Life comes with depression, you're stressing, hoping that you make it. Life will give you a bullet, but I promise you can take it. Just hang in there and fight with all your might. And when you get down, understand that that's just life. You can get better. You can get the best of life, no matter the situation. Let these words be fruitful and take them as inspiration. There's problem in this nation. Let us speak life into our generation. I know I'll get everything I set my eyes on. I'm in a state of preparation because I'm just living life, living in full expectation.
Welcome to 2020, a year to remember, where a virus ran rampant while society went timber. Death was plentiful, famous and not. A lot of entertainers either died or got shot. It wasn't all bad though, for me at least. I met a lot of new people and made a lot of good memories. We've seen a societal shift for better or for worse. I marched for a cause, though some misunderstood. It was seen as violent for some, though for most it was good. Welcome to 2020, a year to remember, where a virus ran rampant while society went timber.
It is unnerving to be stuck completely, no longer just in mind but in body, undeniably confined. The walls close in and my patience is thin, lights dimming, head spinning, a ringing in my ears that I have never heard before while pacing the same exact floor, day in and day out. I am tired, tired of feeling hopeless, restless, uncertain, and scared. I am tired, tired of sickness, death, hatred, and violence. I am tired of it all. It is awful, being claustrophobic and undeniably confined.
And here we have a collective poem. This is written by all the members, but I think Maria, you're going to read it by yourself, yeah? All right.
One day in March, at the start, I walked all day. As I moved down the street, only eyes peering through, masks cover faces, struggling to grasp onto the new. Life's changing, and it's moving fast. Stay on task, I think. Keep us safe, I say. Wear a mask, I plea. They say lighten up, but how could you? There hasn't been any sun in a while. I watch it all from inside, tucked away safely as the world plays out its song, its script, its ribbons of libretto. Each day feels the same. The moments blend together, watching the world pass me by. Thinking of all the experiences I never got, but those before me got to have. Comparing my life to others only makes the time go by slower. A question everyone has faced at one time or another. How do I return home? How do I go back to a place, an energy that I've grown out of? My feet were once a part of this city, remembering a town once alive, and when the arches became our ghosts. I didn't belong before my time was even up, so being fuller, more realized, am I expected to act like I never left? I often feel like I'm doing everything right, while those who aren't got to experience the moments, the time with friends, the hugs from loved ones I wish I had. I'm watching with a sense of unease, and yet somehow I am jealous. Maybe because I must watch from outside. My fate is in their hands, but I can't even be a part of it. I am a part, watching. Like a fish out of water, uncomfortable, you must adapt. In this abandoned town, on an abandoned day, I heard the birds chirp on electrical lines. I heard the breeze rustle the tree's leaves. I heard my soul coming back to me. One day in March, I walked all day. I hope I walk again.
Main Street.
There was a man who stood, who begged, who spit and spout, with a body decayed till his brain sprayed out. The man had cracked skin and rough, hard hands. He had crusty lips and torn, ragged pants, a belief that life was unfair, and brittle, nappy hair. The man was forced to discontent of a world that valued dissent more than even he did. And when he asked for anything, the payment taken for another soul saved was his life. The story of one man tells the story of another, but the story of many. The story of a boy's salvation or of his damnation. It can show the bare truth of pain. Those who control it, those who submit, may all find themselves in the pit, while driven sane by this mad world, till with inner peace unfurled, their spirits decide to ascend, until they are let free.
What I would do. What I would do to be sitting on top of a mountain, parked on the side of a canyon, looking at the clouds in the valley below, with the wind blowing just slightly, just enough to feel it, with one of the people I love the most, when I can finally say, I made it. What I would do to be young, to be finally old, to reminisce on the simpler times, but look forward to the ones where life finally feels complete.
The sun goes down. I was convenient, a black night that he had stared at for too long that his eyes adjusted. So used to my darkness that when he saw light, it was unimaginable. I was no longer convenient. I was abandoned. Her luster consumed him whole. Her radiance burnt me like fire, and before I could smother her flame, he was ashes. He who had once loved my coal-black existence was now only soot. She gave him to the wind, leaving no trace and no goodbyes. She, unaware of the grief she'd caused, spoke with warmth, thinking she could burn me up as she did he. My icy hands wrapped her throat like burns, growing up the empty house I'd become. Smoke and sizzle, she was beginning to fizzle, dimming her star eyes, my reflection leaves with her. Then, complete night. It was just me and myself again, blinded not by light, but darkness. And you want me to do all three now? Okay, inside. I control this mind. It is my own. It likes to fight me. It says I'm alone. When I'm down, it kicks until I spit red lies. I am enough, slaughter in its wide eyes. This beast is inside me. It is my own. I controlled this mind. And then the last one is holes in sheets. Sparkling skies, crowded pavement, cut out eyes, a child's patience. An ivory cloak, a ghostly glare, he's seen as a joke, they all laugh and stare. It's Halloween with tired legs, he's quite naive, acceptance he begs. It was always tricks, never a treat, alone by 6, still hidden by his sheet.
Watch me grow. Dear sunflower boy, I watched from the sky 2 wanderers meet. Their smiles were the seed that planted you. Dear sunflower boy, I watched from the sky the 2 wanderers leave, unaware of you. I watched the man years later weep with regret, and I watched as the woman returned to her garden. And still I watched fondly over you. I watched as you sprouted, I watched as you grew, I watched and saw you even as your eyes turned blue. I watched on days when the field was flooded with people to see you, and I watched from the sky the day they left too. I watched you, and you watched me. In the morning, your eyes woke with my light, and in the evening, your eyes followed me to my resting place. One day, I thought I would see what you looked towards when I laid myself down for the day. So I disguised myself as a star in the night sky, and found you looking for another flower you could turn and rest with too. And I smiled, for I knew the sweetest campers had come to town, and they were planning something that would just be for you. Untitled. I'm always in a bind, honey, you're my Columbine. Always trying to make you laugh, always trying to make our love last. But the joys of our love are fleeting, just like those carnival lights.
A flower can't grow without light. The sun doesn't shine at night. How can I fly if I'm afraid of heights? Some things just aren't right. But then I remember, flowers don't bloom when the time is right, no matter its size or height. Or I'm sorry, flowers bloom when the time is right, no matter its size or height. Even if it twists and turns at night, growth will always come to light.
This year was rough. I had my ups and downs. Life is hard, yet I had my happiness. I get back up and I get back down. I know life is rough. It hurts me to pain. Sadness and dark aura. I keep things to myself. I bottle everything up, yet I stay strong. I stand strong while I struggle along. Things will get better. I know it will.
The movement of not water but emotion, trapped in a wave yet again, out of my control left me broken, but still I sit here and pretend, as if those with no voice have spoken, and those who are alone have a friend. But it's not me trapped in the current, for the ones trapped are only them, and for them our pain is a token. But no matter how much time we spend, the world refuses to be woken by the sound of peace and cheerful kin. Isolated, broken, and empty. 3 years of nothing but the sharp pain of a blade in my back, leading into loneliness. The development of my flourishing self-hate, breaking any outline of who I thought I was, leaving me uncertain of where I was supposed to be. Disconnected from society, the world that was supposed to be my home felt foreign, as though any place my feet graced the ground was another place I didn't belong. For the longest time, I stayed questioning my purpose. I fought hard to find a reason to wake every day. As far as I was concerned, I had no worth to who I was, and no concept of who I wanted to become. With the suffocating pain brought upon me by others and myself, eventually brought on healing and a new kind of growth. From finding simple joys and moving on from the past, to regaining parts of who I am and starting relationships that I hope will last. I worried that the outline of who I'm supposed to be would forever stay broken, and I would always be a piece stuck in the wrong puzzle. But I slowly learned that no outline of our beings are perfect, and our color can bleed past the lines. I found that they can grow, just like mine did 5 times. Messy, crazy, outspoken, complete and utter chaos, along with support. My outline of no one became an outline of 6. To my friends, mis amigos, thank you for helping me grow. Te amo.
It's me, it's Evan. Sorry, got caught up. That was great. Here's 2 poems by Evan, who can't be here. The first is called Purpose. Walk in the room with a purpose. Show them the work I put in to deserve this. Like a budding flower, I am filled with potential, inevitable, not accidental. With every passing day, I grow wiser, gaining more and more sympathizers, showing them that I'm more than a burden, and I walk into the room with a purpose. That's that. Failure is like broken glass, unable to be fixed, just a burden of the past. A notebook full of my goodbyes sat on the rack. All I want is for you to come back. Grasp me, unlike ever before. But in the end, I know she will never knock again, not at my door. Negative thoughts stain scarlet like blood on my sheets. Touch me like close under the touch me close like sleeping under bed sheets. Ran over me like a hand on a mouse pad. Really, I am the one in the mousetrap. You really put me down bad, And that's that.
Okay. So the title is called I Love You. Peel me back. Pull apart my layers and watch them come apart in your hands. Not a flower or a fruit or waxed paper foil hiding sweet, rich chocolate. There is no candy here. Pull back all the layers and rip me apart. So taken apart, I can't be put back together. Be taken aback, for I never told you. I can only be opened once. To love me is to see my core, and to love you is to bear it. No take backsies. I'll do it anyways, of course.
There was a man who stood where an exit ramp met a main street downtown. He stood where the cars would have to turn to make sure he could not be avoided. He stood before one car, desperate, but inside, not a word could be heard. There was a boy in the car, and he knew what was being said, but he yelled until the man let him go. And he drove until he remembered he had a single dollar in his wallet. He had placed it there on the last day of the year before. It was a prayer for an abundance of wealth. His car turned back, and in the dark the headlights shined upon the man. They met in the middle of the empty road. The man spat, begging for anything. The boy tried to explain the dollar was all he had. The man spouted, begging for more. And although the boy had rolled the window down only an inch, the man still had him in his cold grasp. Still, the boy only wished he could help him. But he pleaded until the man let him go. The price cost no more than $1. But the man did still appear. That boy could not be saved until the man was. So the price of that dollar was more than the boy's soul. The price was the man's life as well.
A horrifying thought. To realize that life is but a blip. One day you're here, the next that's it. Your belongings are up for grabs. Your house and car deteriorate. How sad. Your legacy continues on through offspring. That is, if you're lucky to have. To realize that one day it just must all go black. Left in the dark. There has to be more to it than that. What a horrifying thought. Or maybe a sign of all the joy and thankfulness that you currently lack. To realize that life is but a blip. One day you live it, the next that's it. Get up and go. The school, the work, the constant get up and go. What I wouldn't give. To play and laugh, to have summers at home again. But those days have passed. Family grows older, apart and distant. I've been trying to show them my ambition, but all they see is their little girl. Why must I always stay small in their eyes? Why must I be small to them, but not to me? Don't they know that I cannot stay home and be carefree? Do they not understand that I'm not lounging in the living room on a hot summer day eating all the ice cream in the house? No. I'm at school and work and doing the constant get up and going. I'm not the little girl they still see.
Miguel, you're up.
Silence. A man searches for something he had lost
in the small town of Silent Hill. He already has the answer hidden in himself, but he continues to ignore them. And a siren has begun to sing. Others have been dragged here to this hell within the mist. Their sins have come to haunt them, unique to them alone, and their madness is here to stay. A monster hunts through the halls, and judgment is his will. Trapped within a cage of grief, great blade in hand, and will not stop till the debt is paid. Searching forever, deeper in the abyss, is a lie he told himself. The monster shows the ultimate truth, a crime of love and hate, and acceptance will be the only way to save them. Of entropy, I turn mountains to dust, kingdoms to ruin, and swords to rust. I snuff out flames, turn forests to ash. I make children grow and turn men into bones. I drive men mad and spread vile disease, make calamity come and go, and change the world for better or worse. I make fools into heroes, and miracles occur, help them overcome great odds, and drive swords into villains. I turn men into demons, make women into widows, starve those in famines, and make soldiers' wounds fester. But when stars fall and rise, and with enough eons, even death may die.
I bleed into music as ink bleeds onto paper. My soul reaches out, and each rhythm that finds me is a blessed curse. It soothes my pain for a little while, then leaves me alone and empty. My pillow drenched, my heart shattered, mind left trying to make sense of a body in working condition and a soul left in tatters. Shred me so I may be as small as I feel. Break me down so no atom can be found. Hurt me so this pain will go away. Who knew pain would be a prescription, a fix, an addiction? The pain that never goes away, voices that never go away, and I can never go away. I want them to leave, I just want peace. Music.
Songs and situations. Certain situations remind me of certain songs, or rather, certain songs remind me of certain situations. The things overplayed on the radio are now the mind's portal into the past, reminding me of times I took for granted, the memories I firmly grasp. Ashton Martin music, a nice, relaxed, calming vibe, or rather, a summer night in 2012, my mom singing on a stormy car ride. I hear the lyrics, all white like I'm Mensa, I got TZ in my swisher. Thinking of my elder cousins at all the cookouts I seen, dropped 2 cups in August, swear that mixtape too official. Certain situations remind me of certain songs, or rather, certain songs remind me of certain situations.
I can't see the light through the trees, even the air, it's killing me. So dark, I don't know where I'm going, the ground beneath me is falling.
A glass ceiling below my feet, hands painted in purple bruises, broken walls, sick smell of deceit, smash the glass, the stale excuses.
I'm trapped in a vastly open space, the whole world for me to roam, but nowhere I go feels like my place. I'm not fit for this life, forever feeling as though I don't belong.
All fires fade is what they say, to cinder, ash, and dust. Every sun falls to the night, and all good things come to an end.
What can we do when we no longer withstand the burden, place it in others, create more guilt? We start to develop the hatred for ourselves and for our loved ones, create barriers that define us and mold our character. Often into the thing we fear most. We must avoid these repercussions at all cost. But what cost is too much?
Should we pay the price with our bodies, our minds, the environment, the world, the misunderstandings? Is that enough sacrifice?
I was born into a world meant for man. I learned what it meant to hate. I was shown his abyss. All I saw was his pain. The life I saw was sorrow. I knew not to live. If I existed only as a man within it, I knew I'd be killed by the world that birthed me, that gave me strength, that made me see. In its pain was beauty, and it taught me what it meant to live whole, to love in a world whole with hate. The world gave me meaning. It will lay to rest my mind and body, and with time they will pass and decay. I will live my life, and it will kill me one day, but I will never die.
I think it's Adriana.
Scream. Stand up and fight. Scream your rage at the injustice that plagues us. A parasite that feeds off of hate passed down by generations of fearful individuals. People scared of relinquishing power because apparently money and influence holds more value than the lives of our neighbors, our friends, our family members whose only difference from us is the color of their skin. Now is not the time to be silent. Stand up and fight. Fight for the voices around you that have been silenced, the voices that go unheard, falling upon deaf and uncaring ears, the same ears that are trying to control our society. Fight for the people who cannot fight for themselves. Now is not the time to be silent. Now is the time to stand up.
Brutally spoken. Police brutality has become a normality. It's sad that in reality, we have to deal with all these fatalities. Rayshard Brooks was killed for just sleeping. Daniel Prude was killed for naked streaking. It makes no sense. I don't see any other color taken like this. I really don't know how to feel because George Floyd's life was taken over a $20 bill. Breonna Taylor was asleep and killed. What an injustice. They go to trial to fight for her. They deny, but let a wall get the justice. Botham Jean was just chilling at home when he was rudely interrupted. An officer took his life, said she thought it was her apartment. Oh, how the world is so corrupted. There's no justice. And without justice, we can't have peace. And you wonder why so many Black brothers are roaming the streets, trying to make ends meet, and then make it out the hood. And then once they get a nice life, here comes gentrification, putting them right back in the same situations that they were placed in. It's either we take our own lives or the police will. It's either we become a rapper, an athlete, or we steal. It's either I get to a meal or the police kill. If you aren't Black, you don't understand how we feel. You can't, but you can help make the change and help heal the pain so their deaths aren't in vain. Speak up, say their names.
Terrarium. They tell you to grow and expect you to thrive, but some turn around and watch you die, united yet divided. 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Blackout on Instagram and petitions signed by millions, but endless cycles of violence, and we are losing our resilience. It's hard to grow when you're stuck under the isms: racism, sexism, classism, heterosexism, standstill, cliffhanger. We need to cease the anger. A hasty solution will not do.
If you're going to leave, leave without saying. And if you're going to shout, shout without bailing. Because time is only so long and our patience has stopped growing.
All right, the title is American Hypocrisy. Let me count the ways. The land of the free, when a football player is taking a knee, because we can't disagree. Shut up, turn off the TV. Oh, the American dream, what a fake theme. Only purpose is to sell fake hope, then turn and sell inner city kids dope. We'll spend billions on a war, not a dime to the poor. Budget cuts on education and healthcare, but shame on you for being on welfare. Drug addictions through the roof, opioid crisis as proof. Drug companies charging big bills while getting children addicted to pills. All lives matter, they say, refusing to put on a mask every day. We don't listen to each other, creating division, following the lead of our politicians. Americans will mock your activism, denying the truth of systemic racism. We fail to see the common man's oppression, leading to a state of mental depression. Media outlets presenting wrong information. Who can I believe in this nation? Democracy is backed by elections. Yet I still only have 2 selections. I am tired of this misconception that America doesn't need correction. Change is needed and will come. I just hope I'm alive to see some.
I'm fighting my hardest for everyone. Everyone who's lost a life or a loved one because of the color of their skin. Everyone who's not been accepted simply because of who they love. Everyone who's been randomly searched at TSA because of their religion. Everyone who's immigrated to this country for a better life and gets treated as if they aren't human. Everyone who's not allowed the same pay as a man because they are female. Everyone who's having to struggle just to get a meal. Everyone who's been bullied and beat because of a disability they were born with. Everyone who's being stereotyped as not able to work based on their age. I will fight until I can't fight anymore. Problem. In order for there to be change, people need to accept that there is a problem. We live in a world where if anything is just a little different, it's automatically a problem. Being who you are shouldn't be a problem.
Cleansing, that is what the water is. It washes away all of my stains. It makes me breathe, hides my struggle to see, takes me back to when I was me, and I was nothing but free. Those long summer days have been nothing but stained. Lost in thought, I think I prefer the forgot of when everything was new and the water was water, not my cleaning solution.
We're trapped. We teach ourselves that life requires purpose. For what purpose do we live here? Where value lies in cost. For what sense is there in living only to bolster a world not worth living in? We seek asylum, we desire freedom. But what degree of spirituality heals the burnt body or the frozen mind that guides it? No answer changes much. Satisfaction is supposed to come from within. Where's the satisfaction in that? The peace we require exists beyond our home in another. The one we're living in restricts. How can we escape? The system traps and chokes and keeps us all tied up in strings and ropes to rein us in, to reign over us. But we the people will cut. We the people will tear. We the people will struggle against the strangling binds tangling everywhere. Because we can't breathe. We will not stop until they unwind. Then we the people will be free.
We are divided, not united. They say all men are created equal, but all men are not treated equal. More injustice than justice for all. People being killed in the streets just for having more melanin. People cannot live their lives without being hated on, looked down upon, thought less of a human. Based on something they can't control, we don't seek revenge, rather we seek equality. To have our basic rights as humans, simply to be left alone, to not be automatically judged. Is that too much to ask for? We have to remind ourselves that we're worth fighting for. Keep our heads up because our spirits are not broken. It will never be broken. Our color does not make us any less of a person. Rather, it makes us unique, special, beautiful. We have learned to love ourselves for who we are. We too have a place in this earth, just like you. It's not a competition. Black lives matter. Black lives will always matter.
We're coming on the air now with breaking news in the killing of George Floyd, who died on Memorial Day.
Black men, black mothers' sons become as important to the rest of the country as the killing of a white mother's son. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until this happens.
Minneapolis, after protesters took to the streets to demand justice for George Floyd,
Our brothers and sisters, dying for no reason. Slowly but surely, they are taking our freedom. The government say that they will help, but we all see what that means. Cops stop us, hit us, till we cannot breathe. It's not fair, we say, but this is what has come to see. All we wanted was just a little peace. There is always a way back, but for now we will have to wait until we get justice for all. Then we can make this world a better place, where the police can be our friend, and we all live happily ever after.
Shot a car with a pregnant woman in it, with fucking tear gas!
I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand why this world can be so cruel. For the pettiest reasons. We base someone off the color of their skin, almost as if they didn't have feelings. They can't control something that they were born with. So why discriminate? All when their heart and soul are in the right place. A wise man once told me, why be afraid when we all do the same things? Put 2 legs through your pants, 2 arms for your shirt. But the difference is the mindset and intentions of the people that may be out there to hurt. What does it mean to them when we say, I can't breathe? So far it doesn't look good or like anything when these dying people plead. But maybe it can change for the better, in fact. But all needs to start with the government and the people, so that our ideas can be unified and everybody will be seen as equal.
Lay down. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Settle down. Just relax. This is unbelievable.
And finally, we have a collective poem from the members of the Fighting for a Voice.
8 minutes, 46 seconds, summarizing the history of America's suppression. So from here on out, I will fight and shout until equality in this world leaves no doubts.
Chanting louder than I've ever chanted before, this time with so much heart and soul. You will hear and feel us now, coming together because we're tired of living in terror. You will hear us now.
Hate is overrated, and I am sick of it. To stand by is to ignore, to promote. As those around you are told their lives do not matter, you do not need to know someone to know their life is important.
We go out in support and try to spread love, but we are left with posers and thugs that seem to be out of touch. On the real reason we came out to support, to make sure we all have an equal say, and to bring these criminals forward.
Ignorance is bliss, but it's just as harmful. Why watch as individuals are treated unequal when in reality we're all just people? Change starts with us.
There's only one race, the human race. We must stand by one another. The color of your skin does not determine anything. We all bleed the same color. Why can't we be treated with respect no matter our color?